Good morning, retail traders. I want to talk about a few tickers today, and I'm thinking that the Dow, or I'm pretty sure that the Dow now is heading into a bull market, and the fat cats are still a little bearish on the SPY. So we're going to go ahead and talk about ADBE. They had earnings yesterday, and they were good. AI has been a big boost for ADBE. And we're going to go ahead and pull up the chart. Pull up the yearly first. We talked about this in the room yesterday. I stated a pivot point area that we needed to break last week or a couple days ago at 445.48. And if you bring this down to that's the 3-year chart. So we were at a 3-year pivot point, and we busted that a couple weeks ago. And I've been bringing that to the room, and maybe we'll have a good bounce into this next Darvas box that's right up in here. And that's exactly where we're heading to, is the top of that Darvas box. So we were in a long trend, we had a good bounce, and then we had last year's pullback. And we're going to draw in that Darvas box. From the top of the body of that candle right there, all the way down to the bottom of this body, and we're going to bring it all the way over. Right about in there. So we did break resistance at 445.48. Now we're going to go ahead and draw a trend line, a price line, at the top of that box. And that's going to be your resistance to break. And that's at 518.21. Now I got that in red for a reason, because I think that's going to be a hard resistance. And if that breaks and we get to really get to bullish, I mean, we got a long target up here into next year right around 576. And that'll complete that pullback there on that M. And that'll be a hard resistance to break also. So the pullback in the stock is going to be the pivot point inside of this here box. And I'm seeing that pivot point right about in there at 479.12. Now I'm going to do something here. We're going to look at the yearly. We had a nice little breakout, and you got a gap. Excuse me. Oh, I'm having a sneeze attack in the middle of the broadcast. So yeah, that lowest support has got to hold that gap. So that's where we're going to set the bottom alert. I'll be bullish on this stock for sure. And we're going to set the other one right here on the bottom of them 2 candles that we had on the daily. That's going to be your solid support to hold, to keep you in the trade at 475. We'll just keep it just like that, 475.01. We're going to go down to the 20-day 1 hour. See if I see anything in here on that 20-day 1 hour that could cause me to raise a resistance. See right up in here, we got a double top break. So I'm going to go ahead and put a support right there. Looks to me like we came real close to hitting the top of that box right now. So we could easily pull back. Now I'm going to bring this to the 1 minute and look at it as a day trade. We've got a Fibonacci breakout here. And there's your first support right there at 593. If that holds, we'll move higher. And your second one's going to be right there at 495. And those are the 2 major support levels that we got to try to keep in the channel to stay bullish. And strong buy down here at 489.94. That's going to be ADBE. Now AI is the one that we've been calling out. Been very bullish on AI. Here's a 20-day chart. We called this off the 200 on double bottom a couple weeks ago. Also took the trade here. Bounced it, scalped it up, and took that. But I didn't get into this last run. Now I did call it off this 51. Off the pullback yesterday morning on AI. So we're at a double top it can easily pull back and hit that 51 again, and then or find a solid support on this triple top breakout. So I always like to point them out, them triple tops. We're going to bring it down to this one right here. That'll be your first solid support. And then your second one is going to be this other ascending triangle triple top breakout. So you got two of them right there, and that's above the 200. So if we pull back and hit above that 200 like it's respecting it very well, it could be a good time to get in this trade, run it up, and try to break that out. If this does break out, I got a very long target to $100. And what else could I mention that's along with this here stuff? I want to look at Meta. Meta's not been talked about much here lately, and we had a nice breakout on Meta. And also just had a good breakout on Apple. So Meta here, you want to put your support right on top of this here 2-week Darvas box, 3-week Darvas box, and that's where we should hold. We're going to set an alert right there. We just take some of these off here. I got a lot of alerts on here. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. And then move this one up to the top. Move this one up to the top of that channel. Now, if you have Thinkorswim, you can move these moving averages around, just like I showed you right there. Then you hit the replace, and it'll automatically go right into that, and that saves you a lot of time. So we'll wait for that. Resistance on this one here, if we do decide to break out, is 292.80. 292.80 long, and that's another what, $11. Some Meta AI and Adobe and Apple, and then I'll do a Dow watch list later on. Apple's been on a tear. Now we called this triple bottom down here on Apple. It was a pivot point on the weekly chart time frame, and now we broke out a resistance on that 3-year time frame. So we're definitely at a breakout point on this. I'm not seeing any top price targets. $1,000 Berkshire. If you invested $1,000. So we'll do this here. I forgot what I had as target on. I think it was right around this here double top where my target was. Now that we broke it, we just have to play price action. That's about all I can say on this. Play the dips if there's any knives or any dips. Look for previous support levels, like right here. You could catch a double bottom. If you pull up the 20-day, 1 hour, you could probably catch this triple top. Actually, I'm going to show you a trick here. Just like that. That could be your support level right there to continue the run up to the upside. That's a quad top breakout. Come back and hit that, or it'll come back and hit this yin yang right here and be a solid support at 182.12 to keep the run running to break a double top. So that's just ways I'd look at it. Strong buy off the 200 SMA on the 1 hour time frame. And that's it. Hope everybody really enjoyed the run. I had one of my worst days yesterday because I just couldn't. It just steps ahead of me. I just couldn't. I don't know. I just wasn't ready, prepared for yesterday. I was counting on a little pullback and then take the bite off that and run it back up. But she was very strong yesterday, and I think it has a lot to do with the rates not being raised. Maybe raise rates in 2 more times, and maybe. I think he did it on purpose to give strength to the banks and the market. And then we had the bill signing, which I said we were a full bull run by that time, and look at the run we've had on that since that time frame, since that bill signing. I mean, we nailed this bottom right here at 170, and boom. I mean, it's just been a nice run. And I was saying swing for a little bit because, the signing of that spending bill is what I call it, out of touch. Wall Street loves that. Maybe the private sector doesn't want to pay for all that wasted spending, but Wall Street will benefit on it. It's called trickle-down economics. And that's it. They might say it's not trickle-down, but it is. If you give the money, hand it over to the corporates, it's trickle-down economics. And we'll have a great day, retail traders. Sneaky snake trading strategy.